What makes Kratos an interesting video game character are his godlike abilities. He mixes this with style that makes his attacks so glorious to watch. The original God of War trilogy showcased this stylistic action to perfection. Although it was amazing to watch, these attacks packed a wallop. Kratos faced enemies like Minotaurs, Centaurs, and Cyclops, all these being regular foes for him to combat. So, this is just the tip of the iceberg for the guy who kills gods on a regular basis. So it begs the question, just how powerful is Kratos? Let's find out. But before that, we notice that a lot of you are watching our videos, and we hope you enjoy them. So, please subscribe to our channel and help us get to 1,000 subscribers to bring you more content like this. Kratos has lived for hundreds of years by the time of God of War 2. His new status as the God of War ensured he had achieved true immortality. Even before that, he had decades worth of experience that made him a skilled general for Sparta. This experience, coupled with longevity, allows Kratos to be at his best both in combat and in intellectual situations. There might not be any puzzle he can't solve, or any physical threat he can't destroy, thanks to about a century's worth of experience in dealing with all kinds of trials and tribulations. It is also the reason why we never see him facing difficulties in seemingly impossible situations, because he's seen it all. Being the son of Zeus would mean instant super strength, and Kratos is a supreme level 1 at that. His feats of strength are stuff of legend. He was able to withstand attacks from gargantuan titans and even overpower them. The king of the gods always came up short when locking horns with Kratos, as he never had an answer to his son's brute strength. In fact, Kratos ended Zeus by repeatedly clobbering his face. For someone to destroy the most powerful god using only his bare hands indicates insane levels of strength. He could also contend with multiple beings at once, due to them falling short to Kratos' power. Going hand in hand with his super strength is Kratos' durability. It is a wonder Kratos had no idea he was the son of a god, seeing as how he had been able to withstand forces the levels of gods and titans without going splat. He can fight hordes of enemies at once due to his durability, sustaining his body and allowing his strength to take advantage. Kratos has withstood blows from Zeus with no scratches left to show signs of defeat. Most impressively, he survived being impaled by the Blade of Olympus, a weapon that brought about the end of the Titanomachy, and lived for several years after that with no long-term effects. Kratos doesn't give off the impression that he might be a speedster, but his feats would prove he is one. Of course, his true speedster days were those when he ended Hermes' life and acquired his boots to blitz through his enemies. But Kratos was quick and agile in his own right before that. Catching a godly speedster is by no means an easy task to accomplish. To capture Hermes, Kratos made use of his agile abilities to dodge the fast-paced attacks. He would then use his own quickness to slash at Hermes during the latter's attempts to flee from Kratos. His battles against monsters demonstrate how Kratos can dodge attacks from enemies. Kratos' durability is second to none, but even the highest levels of durability will be shattered under the power of godly weapons like the Blade of Olympus. Kratos was healed by the blade's impalement, although we do have to thank Gaia for that, with only a scar remaining on his stomach. Without a doubt, Kratos has seen his fair share of physical attacks. These have given no signs of penetration, however, as the Spartan hardly has any leftover scars. Only 2 are distinct, while the rest of the scratches and claw marks that should be there aren't at all. Kratos recovers from his injuries at an alarmingly fast rate, also contributing his regeneration. Kratos' inherent powers would not be enough against the likes of the planet busters like Zeus. When he was the god of war, we saw him tower over others and destroy buildings with only his bare hands. Being a giant would give one strength limitless in numbers, but when one is a demigod, there would be need for more weaponry. Good for Kratos is that he always ends up with weapons that can combat the gods. The most powerful in his arsenal has to be the Blade of Olympus, which he used to bring down Zeus. He also made use of Zeus's gauntlet in chains of Olympus to take out Persephone. Zeus made sure to strip Kratos of all his weaponry in God of War 3, knowing this would give him an advantage. We've covered Kratos' strengths, durability, and agility, but all of these wouldn't do him any good if he couldn't sustain himself during combat, and during these long spells that required a great deal of platforming. His stamina is unparalleled for Greek warriors, as Kratos could go the distance in the greatest of fights, only to continue along in his journey without the need for rest. The events of God of War 2 and God of War 3 took place at a stretch. Putting it under this context would make Kratos' achievements all the more impressive, as one would realize he combated all the enemies within a few days at most, and emerged as the victor. In 2018's God of War, Kratos did away with the Blades of Chaos for the majority of the game in favor of the axe we saw him wielding. The axe's name is Leviathan, and its properties are around the same as Thor's Mjolnir. Like Mjolnir, the Leviathan also obeys Kratos' commands in that it returns to him when the latter flings it towards an enemy or a target. The axe was a worthy replacement to the Blades of Chaos as it complemented Kratos' personality at the time. So, if you really want to know how powerful Kratos is, you just need to look at his track record when it comes to fighting gods. He has annihilated Titans and Olympians alike, while also proving that he can go toe-to-toe with Norse gods like Baldur. It might not have been easy, yet he always found a way to beat his enemies every single time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to KRTV Marvel.